Shalom, everybody. This is Rabbi Dr. Stuart Dowerman from Interfaithfulness, where we're building bridges, where history builds walls. And we're hiding behind our walls right now. We're all practicing social distancing. I know that I've not really been out of the house except for a funeral and 2 walks in the last 3 weeks or so. And for many of you, you're also social distancing, you're sequestering yourself. And we're going through a time of change. And we're facing something we haven't faced before, at least not in my lifetime. So the question is, what should the options be for our associating with one another on the other side of the COVID-19 situation? That's a question we ought to be asking. Can we count on meeting in the ways that we've met in the past? Can we count on things remaining the same? Things don't appear to be remaining the same, and we don't know where they're going to end up. So I want to share a few thoughts with you, preliminary to later discussions I wish to have with you, because I have some concrete suggestions which come out of a lot of research I've been doing starting about 30 years ago. And I have other things up my sleeve, but not right now. Let's look at the nature of what challenges face us, okay? Let's also clean up the screen a little bit so that you're not looking at too much interference of what you want to see. Challenges to our gathering. First, we're living in a day with primary challenges to our Yeshua faith. Let's look at 2 of them. First, persecution. I don't like that term. I don't talk about persecution. Some people talk about it all the time. Some people are conspiratorialists. I'm not. But we do have to face the fact that it's possible we're living in a day when tolerance and accommodation of our religious life is shrinking. And that's a challenge to our Yeshua faith, to its vigor. Frankly, I'm afraid that here in America, Yeshua faith is not that vigorous. It may often be loud, but I don't know how vigorous it is, and I don't know what the effect of persecution will be on us long term. In addition to persecution, we have the problem of assimilation. I feel that that's more dangerous, because under persecution, people can become more intentional in their faith. But assimilation is something that waters us down, and it gets us to accommodate ourselves. Paul says, don't let the world press you into its mold. That's assimilation, and it's all around us, and that's a threat to us. But there are also challenges to our congregational life. Let's talk about 2 of them. First is natural disasters, earthquakes, hurricanes. The hurricanes we've had in recent years have been devastating. And then pandemics and health threats. Well, before we would have thought that's just something that happens in another part of the world. But no, it's happening here. Pandemics and health threats. They're challenges to the way we're used to associating. Moving over to the left, there's the present challenge of COVID-19, the COVID virus. We don't know where it's going to end up. You know, in 1918, in the Spanish flu hit us in the spring, and then it went dormant. But then it came back worse in the fall. There were more young men that died of the Spanish flu than died in the First World War. 50 million people were afflicted with it, and between 50 and 100 million people, actually, 500 million people were afflicted with it. 1/3 of the world population, pardon me. And between 50 and 100 million people died. So we don't know what the present challenge will shake down. I'm not saying it's going to be that bad, but I'm not saying it's going to go away. So we also have the problem of reactive panic. Some people are going to become very skittish about association on the other side of this virus. So we need to think about other options for our patterns of association. I'll talk to you about that another time, but I wanted to open up discussion here in Interfaithfulness, where we're building bridges, where history builds walls. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay home. This is Stuart Dowerman from Interfaithfulness saying Shalom for now.